Hey, what's good, YouTube? Today we're gonna react to Nonstop Sports. How good was Prime Klay Thompson? Okay, but let's get into the reaction. But Klay, he's been going through a rough stretch of fucking, games and shit. Well, rough season basically. Like he just washed, man. Like he can't move right. Since the injury and shit, it's understandable. But it's like, bro, and it's like his shot not falling either. So, man, this season had just been bad for Klay, man. But it's like he think he's still prime Klay Thompson though. That's the problem. Like he just needs to chill and take set shot threes now, bro. And stop trying to, you know, make moving screens and shit. Like his shot selection, he's just chucking up shots. It's like you gotta chill, bro.
Just a one-dimensional heat check shooter. He used to be a premier perimeter defender, and Draymond Green called him the toughest player he ever played with. However, at the beginning of the 2024 season, Klay is sadly playing the worst basketball of his career, which brings up a question: how good was prime Klay Thompson actually? His story started by hitting the genetic lottery. His mom, Julie, was a track and field and volleyball star in college.
Damn.
And his father, Michael, was the first overall pick in the 1978 NBA draft.
Damn.
After dominating in high school together with his teammate Kevin Love, Klay had offers from major schools such as Michigan and Notre Dame. However, he wasn't sold on them because they didn't guarantee him a starting spot. So Klay visited other schools, including Washington State, where he showed up to their gym in socks and sandals. After practice finished, Klay took the ball and started shooting from NBA range and left everybody with their jaws dropped to the floor. In sandals, with no warm-up whatsoever, Klay hit 26 threes in a row and 48 out of 50 in total. His decision to join Washington State surprised many, but it proved to be a great one. As a freshman, Klay immediately became a starter and led the Pac-10 in three-point percentage. But he didn't rest on his laurels.
Oh, that was the white power.
And was always in the gym shooting endlessly, and it paid off. In his sophomore and junior seasons, Thompson made Pac-10 first team and led the division in scoring, breaking several shooting records in the process, after which he declared for the stacked 2011 NBA draft. During his pre-draft interview with the Warriors, they asked Thompson what he did for fun. "I like to shoot," Klay said. When they explained that they wanted to know what kind of activities he did off the floor, Thompson shrugged and said, "I like to shoot." And just like that, with the 11th pick in the 2011 NBA draft, the Golden State Warriors select
Klay Thompson from Washington State University.
Thompson, who grew up in Southern California as a Los Angeles Lakers fan, wasn't exactly thrilled to join the Warriors because the franchise had just one playoff appearance over its last 18 seasons. But when the season started, Klay quickly gained the trust of coach Mark Jackson, thanks to his outside shooting and willingness to defend anybody. Back then, Klay was super quiet, just minded his own business, and didn't even speak to Steph Curry.
I don't think me and Steph said a word to each other the first year, to be honest.
And Klay finished his rookie year with 12.5 points per game, 41% shooting from three, and made the all-rookie first team. After the season was over, Thompson spent the whole summer in the gym, a month of which was just practicing defense. And in that same 2012 offseason, Golden State drafted Harrison Barnes and Draymond Green. Despite the youth of the team and the undefined roles of their key players, the Warriors improved tremendously, winning 47 games and making the playoffs. Steph was finally healthy, Bogut was patrolling in the middle, and Klay was the third leading scorer on the team behind Curry and David Lee. Thompson averaged 16 points and made over 200 threes in a season with over 40% accuracy, a feat he would accomplish 7 more times in his career. Only 41 players in NBA history have done this, and only Curry achieved this feat more times than Klay. In January 2013, after Thompson scored a season-high 32 points against the Cavaliers, Warriors coach Mark Jackson said that Klay and Steph were the best shooting duo in NBA history.
I think they are the greatest shooting backcourt that's ever played this game.
Many people laughed at Jackson for saying that after approximately 50 games they played together. But Klay and Steph combined for 483 three-pointers by the end of the season, which was the most ever by an NBA duo at that time. In their first NBA playoffs, the Splash Brothers led the Warriors past the Nuggets, and Klay's shooting efficiency even improved in the playoffs, proving that the bright lights don't faze him at all. In Game 2 of the second round against the Spurs, Klay scored a career-high 34 points, hitting 8 out of 9 three-point attempts. But the Spurs would go on to win the title that year. However, in 2014, 2015, Klay and the Warriors continued to improve. Thompson was averaging 18 points per game, with now traditionally efficient shooting from deep and stellar perimeter defense. Thanks to Klay, Bogut, more minutes from Draymond, and the addition of Andre Iguodala, Golden State had the fourth best defense in the league, and they finished the season with 51 wins, which was their best result since 1992 and the Run TMC era. However, the first round was a bitter pill to swallow as they lost to the Clippers in 7 games, after which Mark Jackson got fired.
This was a difficult decision, but we believe he's got a bright future, and we felt it was time to make a change.
For the 2015 season, Golden State hired Steve Kerr as their head coach, which proved to be one of the best coaching decisions of this millennium. Like Jackson,
start to the
Kerr
dynasty.
was well aware of what kind of snipers he had in the backcourt, but he wanted to make them even deadlier. The Warriors started pushing the tempo, shooting more threes, and their style of play earned a nickname for the modern era of basketball: pace and space. Kerr's motion offense, with lots of screening and cutting, left the opponents choosing between 2 death sentences, whether they wanted to give up a wide-open dunk or leave one of the Splash Brothers open for 3. The addition of Sean Livingston and inserting
The
Green
mid-range
in the starting
GOAT.
lineup gave the Warriors 2 more playmakers, and the small ball lineup with Draymond at center proved to be an unsolvable mystery for every NBA defense. Golden State won a franchise record 67 games, with the #1 defense in the NBA and the second best offense. Their 10.2 net rating was the 7th best in league history. Klay averaged over 20 points per game for the first time in his career, shooting close to 50, 40, 90 for the season,
Damn.
and making his first All-Star game. Then, on January 23rd, 2015, Thompson entered a zone that not many players have experienced, not only in basketball, but in sports in general. In a 126-101 win over the Sacramento Kings, Klay scored a career-high 52 points with 11 three-pointers. In the third quarter of that game, he scored an NBA record 37 points in a single quarter, going 13 for 13 from the field, including 9 three-pointers.
Man, this game made me sick, man, because like Klay, like he deadass could have scored damn near 81 or more, bro. But Steve Kerr sat this man down, man. Like, come on, how you sit him down? Like, bro, like when a player having a night like this, like the coach should just be like, fuck it, bro. I'm keeping you in the game. I'm keeping you in the game, bro. Like, you are on pace to break a record, bro, and like be in like, you know, league history, bro. So it's like, bro, I'm gonna have you out there just scoring. If you get injured, fuck it. I'll take the blame for it. Fuck it. But it's like, bro, like a record is on the line, bro. Like, just keep him in the damn game, bro. Like, bro, obviously I'm gonna ask a player, like, bro, do you want to stay in the game or do you want to come out, bro? Right? Or I'm gonna tell him everything, like, bro, we got the playoffs coming and all the other shit. But it's like, it's up to you. If you want to stay in the game and try to break this record, I'm with you. It's whatever what you want to do, bro. But it's like, damn, man, Steve Kerr sacked this man in the 4th quarter. Like, damn, man, like, should just let this man rock.
Going 13 for 13 from the field, including 9 three-pointers. Also a league record for a single quarter. It was the single biggest heat check in NBA
Should just let this
history
man rock,
and
man.
resembled a video game more than real life. Klay and Steph would once again break their record for threes in a season with a combined 525 threes. But still, they somehow weren't considered the title favorites. A style of play so reliant on shooting had never won a title.
Yeah,
Many
they didn't
analysts
believe.
believed that Golden State couldn't win the title without a dominant post presence.
Yeah, they didn't believe playing outside in would win a ring. Because before Golden State Warriors, literally everyone won playing inside out, bro. So it's like,
Pretty girls, they're really good looking when they going in. But then when you realize that pretty girl is dumb, you're in for a long
damn.
day.
Until the Warriors proved everybody wrong.
Yeah.
They breezed past their opponents in the West, reaching the NBA Finals and then
Playing
winning the
outside
title
and work,
against
man.
LeBron, ending the franchise's 40-year championship drought. Despite not having a great series in the finals, Klay averaged 19 points per game in the 2015 playoffs and was the 2nd best player on a title team. But as always, he just kept getting better. In 2016, Thompson again improved his scoring average, his efficiency, and overall feel for the game. While he was
Now the question is, was Klay the 2nd best player or was it Draymond?
great at his scoring average, his efficiency, and overall feel for the game. While he was always great at running off screens and hitting shots, he got much better at putting the ball on the floor, scoring off the dribble, posting up, and making plays for his
posting up,
teammates.
yeah,
Klay
but off the
made
dribble,
another All-Star team and won the All-Star three-point shooting contest. But that was just the icing on the cake of a nearly perfect regular season. Like Klay, all of the Warriors' key players kept improving their individual game, and because of the continuity and familiarity the Warriors had with each other, they became an unstoppable force. The 2016 Warriors broke the record for wins in a season set by the 1996 Chicago Bulls, finishing the regular season with a 73-9 record. Golden State had the best offensive rating in NBA history that season, and they led the NBA in nearly all major statistical categories. However, chasing the record took its toll, and the Dubs came into the playoffs tired, and when Steph Curry got injured in Game 2 of the first round, it smelled like trouble.
He's going to have 2+ weeks of inactivity after only playing 2 halves of the first round series.
But Klay stepped up and led the Warriors to a 4-1 series victory over the Rockets. Next up were the Blazers, who were looking to exploit Steph's absence. And once again, Klay put the team on his back, averaging 31 points in the series with unreal 50-50-90 shooting splits, leading the Dubs to another 4-1 victory. Thankfully, Curry recovered for the conference finals, but it didn't matter. Durant and Westbrook were playing out of their minds. And after 4 games, the best team ever was on the brink of elimination as the Thunder held a 3-1 series lead. Golden State managed to win Game 5, but in Game 6 it looked like they were going down.
Game 6
For much
Klay.
of the game, they were down by double digits, and it was largely because of Klay that they managed to keep their head above water. And then in the fourth, Thompson entered another one of those mind-boggling heat checks, hitting 5 preposterously hard threes and dragging the Warriors to victory with 41 points and 11 made threes in total.
This is where the Game 6 Klay.
Game 6 Klay was born, and with momentum on their side, the Warriors also won Game 7 and made the finals again. Their finals opponent was the same, but this time Kevin Love and Kyrie Irving were healthy, which made the Cavs much more dangerous. But after 4 games, once the Dubs had a 3-1 lead, it seemed like nothing could stop their nuclear offense. Klay, who almost never talks trash, actually never talks in general, made a huge mistake and trash-talked LeBron in his post-game presser.
People have feelings, and people's feelings get hurt, even if they're called a bad word. I guess his feelings just got hurt.
Little did he know, he poked the wrong bear. Without the suspended Draymond, Cleveland won Game 5 on the road, and then also Game 6 at home. And in Game 7, Kyrie made one of the biggest shots in finals history. Just like that, the Warriors lost the title of what should have been a perfect season. However, that loss proved to be a blessing in disguise.
That shit was
because
crazy.
it allowed the Warriors to add Kevin Durant. If Golden State had won the title, KD wouldn't have joined the 2-time champs. But because they lost, they obviously needed him, and it was a perfect.
That is true. That is true. Damn, bro. That was like a sacrifice. Damn, bro. To forfeit such a good season, but the next season, you able to get Kevin Durant. Damn, that shit crazy. That shit is crazy, bro. Because if they won, they wouldn't have got KD. KD wouldn't have went there. But since they lost, they was able to get KD and win 2 more chips after that. Like, damn, that's crazy how shit work.
Wouldn't have joined the 2-time champs, but because they lost, they obviously needed him, and it was a perfect marriage. The 2017 Warriors were the best team ever. They won 67 games, broke their own record for the best offensive rating ever, and had the second best defense in the NBA, with Draymond winning Defensive Player of the Year. On offense, the Warriors had 2 league MVPs in their prime, and Klay Thompson, who was the best 2-way guard in the NBA, and they were simply unbeatable. Even though some pundits believe that Klay should take a back seat for Durant, Klay was having none of it, and he actually posted the best scoring average of his career, with 22.3 points per game. Then, the highlight of his season, and arguably of his career, happened on December 5th against the Pacers. But ironically, that day couldn't have started any worse. The Warriors had a morning shoot-around, and Klay was nowhere to be found. He just never showed up. It was all because he overslept. He was probably embarrassed, but in typical Klay fashion, he didn't say a word before the game started. And then he went absolutely ballistic. Klay scored 40 points in the first half and 60 points in total in just 29 minutes of action, becoming the first player in NBA history to score 60 points in less than 30 minutes. But what was even...
Oh, it was this game. Okay, I had it confused with the Kings game earlier. But, bro, it was this game that Steve Kerr sacked this man. Yo, bullshit, Steve Kerr. Bullshit. Bro, he should let this man ride out, bro. Like, just have him out there, and it's like, bro, if he could reach fucking 80, 100 points, let him. Let him. I don't care if it's garbage minutes, let him.
In NBA history to score 60 points in less than 30 minutes. But what was even more fascinating is the fact that Klay dribbled the ball just 14 times and had the ball in his hands for a total of 90 seconds.
That's wild.
In the entire game. It was a catch-and-shoot masterpiece.
That's
and a
filthy.
perfect example of why Klay's such a perfect fit for the Warriors, because he didn't need the ball to be effective. However, in the 2017 playoffs, Thompson struggled with his shot, and he had the worst offensive playoffs of his career. But his defense against opposing guards like Damian Lillard, Patty Mills, and Kyrie Irving was impeccable. And the Warriors had so much talent that it didn't matter if one of their all-stars had an off night. The Warriors dominated all of their opponents, finishing the playoffs with a 16-1 record, which was and still is the best postseason winning percentage in NBA history. In 2018, both Klay and his team stayed consistently great, and even though the Rockets gave them a little scare in the Western Conference Finals, the Dubs won that series in 7, and then swept LeBron in the finals for their 3rd title in 4 years. At the beginning of the 2019 season, Thompson shot the ball horribly over the first 7 games, shooting 5 for 36 from 3, and not once scoring 20 points. And then he had another explosion. Against the Bulls, Klay hit an NBA record 14 threes to break Curry's former mark of 13. Thompson scored 52 points in 27 minutes, while making 14 for 24 of his threes and shooting 18 for 29 overall. His 10 three-pointers in the first half tied the NBA record, and the Warriors' 17 threes in the first half set the NBA record for a half. On January 21st, Klay tied an NBA record by making his first 10 attempts from three-point range on his way to scoring 44 points in a 130-111 win over the Lakers. Thompson made his 5th consecutive All-Star game that year, but maybe even more importantly, he made the all-defensive second team, something that he should have been honored with more than once. The website B-Ball Index gives players a matchup difficulty score from 1 to 100, with 100 signifying the toughest defensive assignments. Thompson's score never ranked below 92.6, meaning that he guarded the best opposing player pretty much every night. His 6'7", 220-pound frame and long wingspan bothers
he can't do that no
players,
more,
especially because Klay was
he's too
always
slow
willing to do the dirty work on defense. Over the years, Thompson has also become adept at understanding players' tendencies and anticipating their next move. And because he's arguably the most conditioned player in the league, with about 2.5 miles covered each game, he'd never get tired, which made it a long night for whoever he's defending. In his first 8 seasons in the NBA, Klay was arguably the most durable player in the league.
Yeah, he was an Iron Man.
25 games over that 8-year span. But then, after the Warriors made another finals, Klay went down in Game 6 with a torn ACL. And because he was Klay, a borderline crazy competitor, he actually wanted to go back in the game and play with half a knee. However, unfortunately for Klay, he was forced to miss a whole season. Then, just when he was getting ready to return, he was forced to miss another one. This time, he tore his Achilles, meaning that he suffered the 2 worst injuries in basketball in a span of 16 months.
It's going to be a special moment when I step out there again.
After 941 days without NBA basketball, Klay finally returned to action on January 8th, 2022. Klay Thompson! Scoring 17 points against the Cavs. And even though his mobility, explosiveness, and defensive output definitely weren't up to par with his best, Klay was still a knockdown shooter. He averaged 20 points per game in the regular season and then 19 in the playoffs, helping the Warriors win another NBA title and etching his name in history. He's like the Terminator, the one who doesn't say anything but computes his mission in his head. The Terminator's mission is to kill John Connor. Klay's mission is to win games. Warriors GM Bob Myers. When we're talking about Klay's legacy, we can safely say that he was one of the best catch-and-shoot players in history.
Facts.
If not the best. Thompson has led the NBA in catch-and-shoot points each year since 2014, and he scored 1.25 points per possession when shooting threes off screens over his entire career, which is the equivalent of LeBron James shooting in transition. Few players in NBA history moved like Klay without the ball, and he can easily be compared to Ray Allen, Reggie Miller, and Rip Hamilton, all of whom
Facts.
Thompson studied studied to get better at his craft. But with more size, lateral quickness, and longer wingspan, Prime Klay was a better defender than all of them. And even more importantly,
That is true.
he was a more efficient shooter. So Klay's resume has eclipsed those of his mentors, meaning that he's the greatest off-ball shooter ever, and probably the second greatest shooter of all time. And if you want to see other breakdowns of legendary NBA players, don't forget to...
Okay. Klay definitely up there when it comes to terms of shooting. Like, he's definitely a top 5 shooter all time. I wouldn't put him past Ray Allen though. I'm sorry. I can't put him past Ray Allen because, bro, the shit I seen Ray Allen do, man, like that Heat shot against the Spurs is like too legendary. Like, to do some shit like that, bro, it's like, bro, like, that's like top tier level of shooting, bro. Like, bro, knowing court awareness and shit and still getting a shot off, it's like that's insane for Ray Allen. But hey, Klay is definitely up there as a top shooter though. But it's like, man, Klay in his prime was just different, bro. Like, he was able to be a 3-and-D guy for real. Like, his defense was up there, was top tier. His 3-point shooting ability was crazy, bro. Like, bro, the catch and shoot ability, it don't matter if you in his face or not. Now, with his old age and shit, it's like, it just seems like it's more mental now with Klay. And it seems like he's, like, forcing shots to be like how he was in his prime. That's the problem with Klay now. Because it seems like he's just chucking up shots. Like, he's not open. So, it's like, Klay never been good with, off the dribble, creating space and shit. So it's like, now since he's not as, like, mobile as he used to be, now he's just chucking up shots though. Because Klay never been good off the dribble and shit. But it's like, now with his old age, he's definitely not fucking good. Like, bro, he's too fucking slow. So it's like, now when he's smothered and shit, he's still trying to shoot the shot, trying to shoot over defenders. And it's like, sir, you're not open, bro. You're not open. Like, you need to relax. Okay? But it just seems like Klay is, like, more in his head now because he's trying so hard to be the prime version of himself. And it's like, bro, that's long gone, bro. Like, I'm sorry, that's long gone. So Klay just needs to start, start doing more catch and shoot shots more and stop trying to force shots and stop trying to force shit up. Like, bro, everyone understand you can't be the prime Klay Thompson, but him in his mind, he still thinks he could be the prime Klay, and it's like, you can't, bro. Like, bro, your knee is fucking old. Like, bro, your knee is fucked up, bro. Like, you tore an ACL, bro. Like, bro, you was out for 2 seasons, bro. 2 seasons, bro, with a fucking ACL injury and a fucking what was the other one? And a fucking another injury, I forgot. But it's like, bro, you got fucked up, bro. Like, bro, I'm sorry, bro. Like, you gotta, like, fucking relax and fucking take a step back, bro. Take a step back. Because, like, bro, you're not in your prime no more, man. You're not in your prime no more. Like, comment, subscribe. Just ain't down to interact, down below in the comments. But check out the next one.